There's no way that football is always this good. Like, have I seriously been missing out on this my whole life?
What do they do? You know, because I'm pretty sure they don't have like a 9 to 5. You know, because like the thing is, soccer is like what, once every 4 years. So
on the ball, little triangles that they make, the tiki-taka. Some people might find that boring, but I think it's divine. Alex B on Spain needs a haircut. He kept
the class to learn how to roll around in agony when no one touched him. I don't know. I've started to appreciate it.
You know what's one thing that the World Cup has shown me is everybody coming together to be able to enjoy the game.
So Americans are learning from this World Cup and how everything about the World Cup is so different from the NBA and the NFL and even the fan base, how they react, the energy. Like, bro, it is different from the NFL and the NBA. And some of them too are still in denial. Like, they can't believe how big the World Cup is. And some of them now want to follow the EPL and the teams that they play for. And all that. I don't want to talk much. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. You don't lose anything by liking. Just give the video a thumbs up, comment, share, and subscribe.
All right, so I just have to go out on a limb and I have to say that I think the World Cup is the greatest sporting event there is. Yes, I'm American. Yes, that is my opinion. And yes, I don't even follow the Premier Leagues or any of the league. I only follow World Cups, Copas, and Euros. But from following that and from locking in the World Cup, especially this year, we just finished watching Mexico and England, which was an absolute masterpiece. I mean, you just can't match the drama. I'm sorry, you can't. Not even like in a UFC fight where somebody could like freaking die. And the beauty and the drama, it's like high drama out there. I mean, you're watching these guys, they're all speaking different languages, so I don't even know how they're communicating. The ref is from another country. They're all screaming at each other. They're in each other's faces. They're rolling around the ground. Everybody hates that. I get it. The whole diving, flopping, but it's almost adds. I've gotten used to it now where I appreciate the drama. It's like, do they go to class to learn how to roll around in agony when no one touched them? I don't know. I've started to appreciate it. The penalty kicks, the absolute high drama and stress of a penalty kick round in a World Cup match, I don't think you can find that level of anxiety anywhere else in any other phase of life almost. I'm not even kidding you, especially if it's your country that you're pulling for. So it's a beautiful game that I never really appreciated until the last 3 or 4 World Cups. The way the ball moves, the game within the game, the high drama, how freaking hard it is to score a goal. So when you score one, it's like you know what I'm saying? Okay, it's that feeling. Dare I say it's orgasmic. The game is amazing. It's a beautiful game. It's an old game. It's a world-renowned and appreciated game. It's a historic game, and it's a lovely freaking game. Dang.
It can't always be this good. Like, there's no way. It can't. Back-to-back days, and 2 of the greatest sporting events I've ever seen. Mexico and England nearly killing each other, going to the brink at the Azteca in front of 90,000 insane Mexican fans, like one of the greatest sporting events of all time. And not some 0-0 boring game that goes all the way to penalties, or one team scores early and then they park the bus for 90 minutes. Like, no, this was drama all throughout for 101 minutes. Penalties, red cards, incredible saves, incredible goals. Like, it was nuts. There's no way that football is always this good. Like, have I seriously been missing out on this my whole life? Like, are the games in Europe this good? Like, someone fill me in and be honest with me. Like, this is generational entertainment. I was actually on the edge of my seat for every single second of that game. And I have been for the vast majority of these games so far. And it's only going to get better because it's just going to continue to be a powerhouse versus a powerhouse, and the stakes are only going to get higher. Now, I will say that watching Memo cry and walk off the field for the last time absolutely crushed me. I am admittedly a very bandwagon football, soccer fan, right? But some of my core memories of like watching the sport are the 2014 World Cup and the performance that he put on. Like, he was one of my first favorite players, if you will. And his performance in that World Cup was like arguably one of the greatest of all time. I've loved him ever since. I haven't obviously like super followed his career, but every World Cup I was ready to see what else he would do, and to watch him walk off was hard. And same with Neymar earlier today. Like, that sucked too. Like, Neymar was the hero of the 2014 World Cup. The guy who was supposed to bring it home for his home nation in Rio, and then he got hurt. But like, I've followed his career a little bit, and to see him play his last game today and cry, like, that was tough too. But yeah, this sport, man, like, quickly rising up the ranks of my personal favorites, like, quickly shooting up the ranks. But like, honestly, like, tell me, what should I watch? What league should I watch? What team should I follow? I should get into the Champions League every year. Like, I kind of broadly follow it, but not really. But I know it's like high level. Fill me in. Because there's no way I can only watch this every 4 years and then miss all the other great stuff that happens. I followed the Euros a little bit, Copa America a little bit, the AFCON a little bit, but please fill me in. I need more of this in my life. I need it.
Hey, I got a question. So, what do the players do when there's no more football? So, y'all know how, like, Mexico lost against, who they play? I forgot who they played, but they lost against them. So, like, what do they do? Because I'm pretty sure they don't have, like, a 9 to 5, because, like, the thing is, soccer is, like, what, once every 4 years? So, like, within those 4 years until, like, what, 2030, what do all the soccer players do? Because they're literally, like, professionals, right? So, what do they do? Does anybody know? They can't train for 4 years. So, like, because like, the NFL football, our American football, it's every year. So, boom, they do the football games, okay, for like, what, 2 months or something like that. Then they train for probably like 6 months. Then they have a little break, and then, boom, football season again. Did I say that in order? But, like, what does the soccer players do that play professional soccer once every 4 years?
This is what the NBA and the NFL need to take from football. When they say the game started at 8 o'clock, they mean 8 o'clock on the dot in a drop top cruising street. For real. Look at that. Immediately. I turn on my NBA game. It says it started at 8 o'clock. It don't really start until 8:10, 8:15 because they got to speak it and they got to give me an ad and they got to do this. Like, why can't y'all do all of this before? Football is the same dang thing. American football, by the way. They tell you the game started at 7. The game don't start until about 7:10, 7:15, 7 this, 7 that. Everybody got to get lined up. Da-da this, da-da that. No. In football, World Cup football, the games start when the game starts. Take some notes, the NBA and NFL.
Soccer fans, I'm going to apologize every time an apology is needed. Matter of fact, my apology is so sincere this time. I'm calling it football. It's football. First thing first, to start it off, USA just got beat so bad that it's called football. No, it's not called soccer no more. They just beat the soccer shit out of us. It's football. Yo, 2, that fucking Argentina game. Yo, this nigga messy. And learning soccer, I see why y'all say he's the GOAT. Because it's like, no matter how much you think the motherfucker's good, they not losing. I thought they was that. That shit was crazy. But to top all of that off, a 0-0 game all the way to the pen. And I'm gonna say this one more time, like, penalty kicks, bro, is probably the best shit in sports. You get what I'm saying? It's probably the best shit ever. Fuck sports. That's better than, you got sliced bread, you got the wheel, you got electricity, then you got penalty kicks at 4. You know what I'm saying? That shit not soccer no more either, fellas. Last but not least, I'm a Holland fan and I'm a Man City fan.
I didn't understand why the NFL kept making overseas games because football is an American thing. But now watching soccer and the World Cup, I get it. Mbappe, 133 million. Ronaldo, some people's GOAT, 674 million. Messi, 512 million. And you might go, hey, that's the outliers, right? But that's still a lot of followers just in general. That's like the most. But if you want to play that game, here's Dembele, 22 million. Now here's Patrick Mahomes, 6.4. And he's supposed to be one of the GOATs. Yeah, the US and NFL, no motion. I even went to check Tom Brady's 15.5 million. It's Tom Brady. And you want to know who has the most followers out of the whole NFL? It's Odell Beckham. Don't get me wrong. Odell's a star, but that's a problem. And again, that's no disrespect to Odell, but Gang's not even in his prime anymore. And he got more followers than Lamar Jackson. Like, bro, look at Mo Salah, 66. Hey, Goodell, put a game in Buckingham Palace if you have to.
This is part 22 of my series as someone who doesn't watch any sports, but has watched every match of the World Cup and has many, many thoughts. Maybe they should have towels on the side for the ball. Notice that like before a throw-in or sometimes before like a corner kick, the players will put the ball in like their jerseys, but their jerseys are already wet from their sweat, so it probably doesn't help. Spain versus Portugal. What a delicious match. I was worried Spain was going to struggle against Portugal because Portugal also has some quick feet. But Spain's quick feet are much better. The light taps that they have on the ball, little triangles that they make, the tiki-taka, some people might find that boring, but I think it's divine. Alex B on Spain needs a haircut. He kept like doing this thing with his hair. Get those bangs out of your head. Why was there a hole in the player's shoe? I think it was number 18 on Spain. There was like a hole, like an intentional hole. And I know that they make the holes in the socks because they're like too tight. Why they don't just make socks with the holes in them already, like, I don't know. But the shoe one confused me. Can they just put cushions on the sidelines where the ads are? When João Felix crashed into that wall, it looked so painful. I was really worried. Lamine is so freaking light on his feet. I think I've said that he reminds me of Elise, or maybe it's because they both have like a very similar build, but they also both have a really good sense of space. They know when someone is open. I love Neto, Cancelo, João Felix, Bruno on Portugal, but there is kind of a disconnect on the team. Like they're all talented, but they're not moving as one, if that makes sense. I love Cucurella, number 24, Torres, number 7, Pedri, number 20. They got that swag on that field. I saw in an interview with Lamine's mom that she said Moreno, number 6, is the most like underrated player. So I was so happy when he scored. Good for him. And I think his dad played as well. Like I saw edits of them celebrating their goals in the same way. Cute. America versus Belgium. Ugh, what a hot mess. I mean, just sloppy football. And I don't want to say it's karma for getting that red card rescinded, but it's like America was kind of on this momentum, right? They'd won a bunch of their matches. They were playing really well. While Belgium kind of had something to prove, I think, after Australia and Senegal. Belgium was really solid. And I'm not even that impressed usually with Belgium or like how they played this World Cup. Also, why did the field look so empty with the US? Like, there were so many holes. And I'm still trying to understand formations, but there was so much space. I think Belgium did a lovely job, like, sliding and kicking the ball out of people's feet, but not, like, tripping them or hurting them. Love that. I also really liked US's first goal. I think it's really impressive when anyone can score on, like, a free kick. When you have a wall set up and you still get the ball in, like, that's cool. And Tillman, number 17, I think he's the one that scored it last time too. Like, good for him. But Belgium was excellent in coming in the moment after and scoring. I said this in like another video, but it's the perfect time to score, I think, just after the other team scores. They're riding this high and they're not in the right headspace, you know? But it was so embarrassing when that Belgian player, De Ketelaere, number 17, he like jumped on a US player to like make the header. So awkward. But not as awkward or as embarrassing as when the US goalkeeper came out of his box. And then number 13, Reem, I think, from the US, made an own goal like he tapped the ball lightly. I mean, what is happening? It makes no sense. Like, these own goals, they drive me crazy. And I beg all goalkeepers to stay in their box. Like, unless you got the skill to get out of the box, don't get out of the box. I was kind of sad when number 17, when they, like, took him off the field from Belgium. I was rooting for him to get a hat trick. Like, keep him in, coach. And honestly, maybe this loss is the biggest blessing for the U.S. Because if the U.S. had to play Spain, I think Spain would have made a meal out of them. I think it would have been even worse. Okay, that's it. I saw that Neymar and Ronaldo are retiring from the World Cup, but they'll continue to play club stuff. So are there other players that are just as good as them that just sat out of the World Cup but like will continue to play club? Does that happen a lot? I'm very curious how Egypt and Argentina will mesh. Their styles are kind of different. I'm so excited.
Okay, so I was thinking about this just the past couple days. So I've been following the World Cup, and anybody who's been following me knows that very well. And there is a great lesson to be had in what we are seeing with the teams that are showing up and showing out and in the World Cup, and also just in people in general, just our international brothers and sisters coming here to the States. And that is that we have been far underestimating one another. Capo Verde, that is a perfect example of a team that was underestimated. I think, Curacao, that's another team that, no one would have ever expected to be in the World Cup. And it's not even just that, people were coming to the States to see World Cup games, and they underestimated the kindness and the goodness of American citizens. And Americans underestimated the international community around soccer and the power of the sport or football. So many people have come for me about that. We have to stop underestimating one another. I know I personally am underestimated because I'm a female and an athlete. I was underestimated my whole life about that. But also like in the marketing world and, because I'm caring or kind, like we underestimate one another so much. And it is ridiculous, but it really is a reflection of us underestimating ourselves and not having confidence in our own abilities and trust in ourselves to navigate whatever life throws at us. So, yeah, just amazing lessons learned as we watch these teams and these people who are unexpected. Because we thought that they weren't capable of the greatness that they are showing and demonstrating. Let's not do that anymore. Let's not do that anymore. Let's, believe the best about who people are and what their potential is and their ability to manifest that potential. Let's do more of that. Yeah.
I've been watching the World Cup and I'm a big fan of Holland. Goated. The one thing that sticks out to me about soccer players is how famous they actually are. Now you can see here that Holland has 56.4 million. And by the end of the World Cup, that's only gonna grow. And after this huge game against Brazil, he posted a selfie that got 21 million likes. You know why that's crazy? LeBron James, who has more followers than him, 154 million, because he's LeBron James. I said, let me look at this picture of him and Steph in the Olympics for comparison. It only got 5 million. And don't get me wrong, that's a lot. But it's LeBron James and Steph Curry doing the night after they just won gold. And here's a video of him, like a reel, and it got 12 million likes. And I had to circle back to this. I didn't even peep the first time. This has 1 million comments. 1 million comments. That soccer motion is different.
So the World Cup has been controversial on a number of occasions. Of course, we know about the USA nonsense, right? But I have to tell you, I watched the Egypt-Argentina game today. Now, if there was a game that was fixed, that game was fixed.
So I just found out the reason why football is called football for like soccer. And it makes so much more sense. Because, you know, like, okay, in America, we call football is the ball that you throw, right? But soccer, they call, like, everywhere else around the world, football, they call soccer football, if that makes sense. And then someone commented and they were like, the reason why football, like the world calls soccer football, is because you use your foot, like you use your feet. I said, light bulb, ding. That makes so much more sense, you know? Like, that's mad crazy. So, like, because they do it and they be like, no manos, right? Like, no hands, because they kick the soccer ball. So, AKA football. Y'all get it? I'm like, this guy's a freaking genius. Like, anyways, so I think we should change the name of like American football, or like, you know, to like, I don't know, like air ball or like throw ball or something. But like, it don't make sense, you know?
You know what's one thing that the World Cup has shown me is everybody coming together to be able to enjoy the game. And number two, the collective hate and togetherness that Latin America has for Argentina. For this World Cup, I didn't know the entire world of Latin America hates Argentina like that, that they really don't fuck with them at all. And two, if that hate is really like, is it because they're really good at football, or is it just because, you know, other shit that I've been seeing, like, or whatever it is. But just the collective hate for Argentina is wild. Me being Dominican, I've never seen other people hate another country that speaks Spanish in that way. So, I don't know, can you guys educate me a little bit more on it? 'Cause God damn.
So Trump supporters are now calling for Balogun, the star striker for the United States at the World Cup, to be deported after the USA lost to Belgium the other day. This account called MAGA Voice, a popular MAGA account, said time to deport this guy. He did nothing today. Now, meanwhile, the person typing this behind the screen is probably sitting in their mother's basement and they haven't gone outside in maybe a week, but that's besides the point. You even had other MAGA freaks like Gunther Eagleman, who's been embraced by people like Elon Musk, saying he's got to go. This is just further evidence of how MAGA is a messed up ideology. Balogun is a birthright citizen, and that's why they're saying this. So if he plays well, then they believe he deserves rights and he should stay in the United States. If he performs badly, then he doesn't deserve any rights. He should be deported. That's what MAGA believes. Psychopaths.
You see, one thing that I think many people were like, oh, this World Cup that went to America, it wasn't nice, America hosting it. But I also think there is a positive side to it. It has actually helped and opened the eyes of so many Americans that they didn't really know about or didn't know much about football, as they call it, soccer. And it has actually, for me, in my opinion, I think it has given or opened another fan base of football that I'm sure so many Americans are going to be following, the EPL, the La Liga, and all these top leagues around the world. So honestly, I think it's a positive thing in a way. You can say there are so many things that have actually happened in this World Cup that many people didn't like. Even when it comes to the Argentina and the Egypt match, so many people are pissed off, like they are not happy about the officiating and how things went. There are a lot of things that people are actually talking about. And listen, aside all that, we know that some of these things even happen. Previous World Cups, African Cups, the South American Cup, it happens. It's something that happens in football. They cheat all the time. But I all the time say that if you know that you are an underdog going into a tournament like this and you can score goals, I think you really need to score the goals, let the difference be huge so that nothing can be done. Like, no matter how they want to even rig it, nothing can be done. That's for me what I will say. But all the same, I think I love the way Americans are learning something new that probably they didn't know, and I'm happy. I'm actually happy for them. There is a huge world out there that we are basically enjoying our lives, and they need to know. And I'm happy that they are knowing this. Thank you so much for watching.